To the left is the same bridge that was high above me a few minutes ago. It's been quite the climb up here. Oh my God, there's a sign. Soto de Luena. I'm so happy to finally be here. Seemed like it was a really long day. It's already after 6 p.m. There was a sign outside this hotel hostel with special rates and deals for pilgrims. So I got an individual room for an incredibly cheap price. It's with a shared bathroom, but a large bed to myself in a room with a shared bathroom is better than a bunk in a room of 60 beds. And it's right at the entrance of town, so I'm going to walk up a little ways and see the town a bit now that I've dropped my bag and lightened my load. Hopefully there's a supermarket where I can get some things for dinner. Good morning. It's 8:30 on Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. Evidently in about a kilometer the way will split. One way is up a mountain, and then along the ridge of that mountain, a little bit more coastal, is a way that goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Evidently each are about 20 kilometers until they meet up again. Not many services along that way, so I'm stocked up with food and water. Just need more weight to carry up the mountain. I had a fantastic night in the hostel in my individual room, slept well. This is the second creek that I have to ford. This one's a lot narrower, shallower than the last. Stream number 3. Basically, this Camino along the coast takes you up a mountain, through the forest, to a village, then back down the side of the ridge, across the stream, up the next mountain, to a village on top. Repeat, repeat, repeat. I just emerged from the forest there, cresting another hill and another village, with the sea down below. This is the village of Bellota, which this branch of the Camino is named for. So today there was the Bellota coastal route, or the mountain route. So the Camino goes down that trail. I'm going to go here a little bit just to see the sea. So I found a rock to perch on, sitting here enjoying the sea. I'm going to have some fruit. I'm arriving in Caravello, where I'll probably stay tonight and hopefully get a bed. There are 2 albergues here, but between the 2 there are only 22 beds. And I think around the next bend, the 2 different Caminos for today rejoin. So we'll pick up the people who did the mountain interior route. And also there's not another albergue for more than 20 kilometers. And having walked 23 already, I don't think I'm up for that today. So I'm going to try to make sure I get a bed. So there's a sign indicating that I'm leaving Caravello. The municipal albergue over here is shut down. There's a private albergue. I had a look around. It's a bit overpriced. In fact, it was open, but there was no one there. Highly unusual. And I ran into another pilgrim who told me that there's a albergue about 5 kilometers more, and so I looked into it. It's true. And so since it's not quite 3 o'clock, I thought, sure. It's quite a nice albergue. It's very clean. That's the backside of it. Going here to the supermarket. It's something to complete my lunch. Hi, good morning. It's about 8:20 or so on Thursday, October 6, 2022. Just leaving the albergue, all decked out for the rain. Not exactly sure of the destination today. There are a couple of towns about 4 kilometers apart. One's about 26k, the other's about 30. But the albergue last night was amazing. It's actually the most expensive one I've had. Spotlessly clean, great breakfast, including fresh fruit. There were only 4 of us there. Down below is the town of Luarca, which looks quite charming from here. Worth the effort to get down to and back up. We arriving in Navia, the destination for the night. A little over 30 kilometers since we left. I've been walking most of the day with Sebastian from Canada, Joe, American from New Jersey, who in front of me. Before I saw them, I had gotten a little bit lost at one point, about a 1.5 kilometer extra. But the route took me to the beach, so if you're going to get lost, it's a great way to get lost. And then later walking with them, we went about a kilometer total, about half a kilometer down a wrong track and then back. So probably about 34 kilometers total today by the time we get to the albergue down here in Navia. Good morning. It's about 8:15 on Friday, October 7th, 2022. I left the albergue down there in Navia about 20 minutes ago. It's probably going to be a long day. The target for most of us is Ribadeo, which is the first city in the region of Galicia. So leaving Asturias behind today, if I make it the 30 plus kilometers there. Yay, blackberries again. Yesterday I didn't see any, and it was the only day on the Camino I haven't had. I'm arriving to the town of Tapia, which until I get to Santiago in 200 kilometers will be the last place on this Camino that I have visited previously. So as the signs say, there's the Puente de los Santos, the Bridge of the Saints, that crosses the Ribadeo estuary. That's Ribadeo on the other side. It's in the province of Lugo and Galicia, meaning when I cross the bridge, I will be leaving the region of Asturias behind. And actually, for the first time visiting Lugo, I've been to 2 of the 4 provinces in Galicia, but never to Lugo. So now to cross the bridge into Ribadeo. Down off the bridge now in Lugo. I'm going to check to see if the small municipal albergue has any beds left. It's just here. Good morning. It's Saturday, October 8th. Just after 8 o'clock. I left the albergue just a very few minutes ago. In Ribadeo. First day walking in Lugo. The albergue there in Ribadeo was subpar, but okay. I guess I slept okay. They did have one of the better breakfasts. Today should be a fairly difficult day. A lot of ups and downs evidently, and not a lot of services along the way, and about 30k. And no more ocean. I'm a little over an hour into my first day in Lugo now. Haven't seen many pilgrims, though there was one a little ways behind me, leaving leaving from Ribadeo, and I just passed a group of 4 Spanish guys, but otherwise no one. It's pretty quiet out here. The occasional car going by, but that's about it. Galicia gives you the kilometer count on each of these little markers. The first I've seen that since I was in Huesca at the beginning of the Aragonés. And so evidently from this point, 185.038 kilometers to Santiago. It's about 1:30 and I'm arriving in Lorenza, which was like a 30-kilometer walk from Ribadeo, and I guess I'm about a kilometer and a half out from town still. There have been some hills, but in general the walk today has been easier than I thought it was going to be. And I'm actually flirting with the idea of continuing on to another town, Moldoñedo, I think it's called, and it's about another 8 or 9 kilometers. It was a bit difficult to find anything to eat here in Lorenza. There were several cafe bars, but they mostly were just serving drinks, not food. They each kept directing me to another place, which when I went there was a very formal, bit overpriced restaurant that only had like menu del dia, which is not what I was looking for. I was just looking for, a sandwich or something light. So I decided, okay, I'll try the supermarket. And just before the supermarket, I went back by the first bar where the guy had told me to go to the restaurant. And he saw me and asked what the problem was. And I told him I was looking for something light. So he's like, okay, I can give you some little pincho, some tapas. And in the end, he gave me, and they didn't charge me for it, only charged me for the soda, a little platter of various tapas, giving me some suggestions and advice on where to go and things. Incredibly helpful. What could have been a bad experience turned into a really good one. But I did decide to go on to Moldoñedo. Lots of kiwis on that vine. Today has featured a lot of walking through woods. And out of the woods into a tunnel-like village. And really for the first time today, into the sun. So it should have some free spaces. This is the plaza of the cathedral. Surprised a town this small has a cathedral and not just a parish church. There's the hotel. The albergue is part of it, but the lower part behind, where I stayed last night. Today is Sunday, October 9th, I believe. It's about 8:20. This is the latest I'm getting started. Was not in a rush today. It should not be a very long day. There are a few hostels, albergues, about 4 or 5 kilometers apart. So I have the choice of about 15, 20, or 24 kilometers today. I'll try for the longer, but it's nice to have the options. Of course, as it's October, getting into fall, it's getting light later and later, which is why a little bit later start today. Decided I didn't want to walk in the dark. Still not quite sunrise yet, but I'm on the outskirts of town and have to make my way to the center. So by the time I get to the center and ready to leave town, whatever little mountain trail or road or whatever it is, I should be able to see the signs clearly. It should be light by then. It's definitely getting cooler each day as well. This morning it's about 15 degrees C. And lately we've been having highs about 19 or 20 degrees. Those 3 optional stops I had when I started out today, I have now passed them all. The third, a couple of kilometers ago. The farthest of those 3 was about 18 kilometers from where I started this morning. And I got there around 1. The sun was finally coming out. I was feeling good, so I thought, well, I'll continue on a bit. Unfortunately, a bit means basically doubling the route. The next albergue is about 17 kilometers beyond the last one, so about 15 kilometers to go still. But I'm finding that each morning I start out with a rough idea of where I'm going, but not exactly. I try to do a little research about the options along the way, the various places to stay, and just to see how I feel as I walk. But I'm finding that I'm walking more each day than I had initially planned, partly just because I'm enjoying the walk so much, and so I just keep going. And so each day I just walk and walk. And when I think, okay, I need to stop so I can have a meal, or it's getting late, I need to make sure I have time to wash clothes, to catch some sun, to dry them or whatever, is when I stop. But otherwise, I just want to keep walking. Now, on the Camino, I've met many people who have done this various times. I may be repeating myself in these videos, but I can definitely see how people get a bit addicted to doing this. I've seen several of these stone slab fences. Another little hermitage church. Behind the trees there, a bigger church and an impressive looking cemetery. We'll go have a closer look. It's 8:45 on a rainy Monday, the 10th of October 2022, leaving Bilbao, which has been one of the least enjoyable stays on the Camino, partly just from arriving here on a Sunday when everything was shut down, so a little bit difficult even to find food, and partly just because it seems like a somewhat boring and unpleasant town, and far too many people at the albergue. It's been the one with the most people that I've been at probably since I was on the Camino Frances. I'm experiencing a bit of deja vu. Another church and cemetery like the one yesterday, also by a highway. It's just after 12. I'm arriving in Baamonde, which I think most of the people from the albergue last night will stay here tonight. I haven't decided whether or not I will. I probably won't. But I want to go by the albergue and ask some questions about the route beyond here. Just beyond here, it splits into two sections, an old and a new. The new is about 10 kilometers shorter, but I think there are not many services, and it doesn't actually show up on my map, so I want to find out what the deal is with that first before I decide. So I'm still in Monday, although I've decided to continue on after stopping in the supermarket to get some fruit. That tree there is supposedly over 500 years old. So it's a chestnut tree. You can see, maybe it doesn't show up in the video, a few little carvings. But at the top, evidently a local artist did that in order to protect the tree, to keep it from being cut down at one point. There's the sign letting me know that it's now less than 100 kilometers to Santiago. The first sign I saw back in Somport said 858. Of course, I've already done about 810 because I switched Caminos to the Norte, which added about 80 or 90 kilometers. But at any rate, I'm excited to see that less than 100 kilometers to Santiago. I'm arriving at a decision point. The Camino splits off in two opposite directions. I would love to go to the right because it's about 10 kilometers shorter. See, it's 86 kilometers to Santiago. On the left is 95.383. But I think there are no services, no albergues or restaurants or anything on the route to the right. Although I seem to be in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. Evidently, there's a hostel just off the road to the right. I see some signs up ahead. I'm going to go and check it out. According to the website, this albergue has only 9 beds, so they may already be full. And there's another one about 3.5 kilometers, just in case. Oh, and there's a sign that says that they're closed. I didn't walk down the little road to see if they are in fact closed, but I tried calling both phone numbers that I have for them. No answer to either one. So I decided to call ahead to the albergue that's about 3.5 kilometers away, just to make sure they're open. They are, and they're holding a bed for me. And it's just after 3. I've already walked, I think, about 28 kilometers today. So much for this being a shorter day. Yet another day of over 30 kilometers. I've had quite a few of those lately. It's too dark to see me because it's only 8 o'clock on Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. I don't generally enjoy leaving when it's still dark, and especially as sunrise is like 40 minutes away still. But someone was up before 6 making noise, which got me awake, which meant I was awake, so why not get up, get ready, and leave? It was a nice albergue last night, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but a nice little group. I met a South African mother and her 2 daughters, very nice, lovely people, and the Swedish giant and his wife, and I say giant because he's over 7 feet tall, but a nice, lovely couple as well, and someone I had been seeing and even sharing rooms with for days, but hadn't really talked to. I finally met and chatted with a bit, Marcos from Germany, who left more than an hour ago. So I can imagine how he's doing out here on these back roads in complete dark. At least I have a little bit of light already. But now I'm within 100 kilometers of Santiago. The end is in sight, and I have very mixed feelings about that. So let's see what the next 2 or 3 days bring. These hills likely provide all the stone that I've seen in the form of churches and houses and barns and cemeteries and schools on the way. The way is a bit busy today. Maybe because we're within 100 kilometers of Santiago, and a lot of people only do that. In order to get the Compostela, the certificate of completion, it's required to walk at least 100 kilometers. There on the right is the sign indicating that we, because there are some more pilgrims in front of me, that we are entering A Coruña province, still in the region of Galicia though. And A Coruña is the province where Santiago de Compostela is located. So after waiting about 30 minutes at the monastery albergue to get my credentials stamped and having lunch, I'll say goodbye to the town of Sobredo and continue on. The albergue that I'm staying in tonight is about 6 kilometers more. It may still be the municipality of Sobredo. I'm not sure if it's this municipality or another, but definitely not in the town of Sobredo. I haven't seen any other pilgrims since I left Sobredo. I think that's one of the reasons why I keep walking in the afternoons and go past the ends of the official stages of the target cities or towns, because I find that in the afternoons usually it's just me, and I tend to walk a little slower, enjoy the scenery a bit more, and just have time on my own. Whereas in the mornings there are always some other pilgrims, and despite myself I tend to walk too fast, especially if I hear or see pilgrims behind me. I either stop to let them go so I have the time on my own, or I walk faster to put some distance between ourselves. But I don't generally have to do those things this time of day in the afternoon, and it's around 3:30, 3:40 in the afternoon. But there's a lot more isolation this time of day. Good morning. So it's Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. At about 8:30, I've been walking about 15 minutes. In front of me is a couple. He's from Mexico, she's from Spain. They were the only other pilgrims in the hostel last night. They had a room at one end of the building. I had a room by myself at the other. So the most restful night I've had in an albergue. Today will be challenging. Along the official route, there are not any albergues. Either a very short day of less than 20 kilometers or a long day of more than 40. And if I take some of the other routes, it means merging earlier with the Francais, so a lot more people. And even though there are a lot more albergues, still no guarantee that they will have beds, just because of the sheer volume of people. So hopefully I'll manage something. I have a little ways to go before the Camino starts to split into the 3 different options in order to decide exactly where I'm going to join the Francais. So I opted not to take the first split, which gets to the Francais quicker, but in the end it's longer, even though it has a lot more services. The couple from the albergue last night are still in front of me. They're also going to take the second split, the mid-distance one, with some services, not as many, but not devoid of services in albergues like the shorter. Hola.
Hola.
¿Es video o foto?
Video. Alright. So here I am again in the Francais, 25 kilometers to Santiago. That is the albergue for tonight. I'm about 19 kilometers from Santiago de Compostela, from the cathedral there, the official finish. I'm in the town of O Pedrosa at an albergue that we were finally able to call and make reservations for. So the couple who I've been with all day, Vanessa and Fabian, are there as well in the same room. It's a room with 9 beds though, 4 on each side, 1 in the middle, and I'm the bed in the middle. But it's a bed, and I wasn't so sure I was going to have one. And quite frankly, the albergue seems pretty nice. It's very clean, it's very modern, and people are very nice. Now to go out and see if I can find some food. I like to find a supermarket so I can get things to munch on for the way tomorrow. But as today is a national holiday, October 12th, the day that they honor Columbus's landing in America, and so most things are closed. So I'll see what I can find. It's about 7:10. Today is Thursday, October 13th. I don't really like leaving in the dark, but I don't want to just sit around the albergue either. And I've been up for a while because of all the noise and lights created by other people getting up. And in fact, the first person left the albergue today at 3 a.m. I have no idea what would possess someone to come out and walk at that point of the night, but he was soon followed by another. So by 5:30, I think there were only 2 of the 9 of us still left in my room. But maybe they're excited because there's only about 19 or 20 kilometers left to get to Santiago. "10 kilometers from Santiago de Compostela Cathedral, and still a bit of countryside." That's the chapel of Santa Cruz, al Monte Gozo, or the Mount of Joy. A little less than 5 kilometers from Santiago Cathedral now. Pilgrims stop there because that's the last place outside of Santiago itself to get a stamp and the credencial, the pilgrim passport, and I did likewise. So it's just after 10 in the morning now. We were having beautiful weather, but the clouds have moved in and it's raining lightly now. So back wrapped in plastic. There's this whole albergue village. I'm imagining there's a lot of beds there. I know that in Santiago itself there are albergues with more than 500 beds, and many albergues, and evidently in the high season of July, August, and early September, they still have trouble housing all the pilgrims that arrive each day. The Porta do Camino, Camino Gate. These are now officially in the center of Santiago de Compostela. Unlike the previous time I was in the city, it's gray and drizzly and chilly. Many people. And I have arrived. This is the Plaza of the Bishop, the official end of the Camino. There should somewhere on the ground here be a marker for kilometer zero, probably out here in the center where everyone is standing. I'll show that in a moment. So yes, the official kilometer zero. I made it. There's the main facade of the cathedral. So waiting my turn for the kilometer zero picture. And there it is. So here I am in Santiago in the Plaza of the Bishop in front of the cathedral. A little over 900 kilometers in 33 days. I've lost count. 32, I believe. And it's all a bit anticlimactic, actually. I feel like I just want to walk more, and so I think I will. I definitely hope to make it to Finisterre, Land's End, which is about another 3 or 4 days walk. I think it's 90 kilometers. But I may take a break of a day or two before going. So now I'm heading to the office, which has just opened a few minutes ago at 11, to hopefully get the Compostela, which is the official certificate of completing the Camino. So I just finished getting the official Compostela, the document that says I completed it, although it says from Bilbao and then Camino de Norte. The bells are chiming noon. Time for the mass in the cathedral, which I'm going to at least pop into. I don't know how long I'll stay. Or maybe not. Wow, look at this line.
Tal como la misa que son famosos, no, pero eso tienes que subir por otro sitio y...
The cathedral is like a theme park. You exit through the gift shop. I decided I will not stay the night in Santiago. Not far from here is the capital of the province of Orense, also called Orense, which is a province, one of the few provinces in Spain I haven't been to. So I decided I'll go there. It's a city known for thermal baths, so I'll see if I can go and have myself a spa afternoon.